Hello everyone, DSP here, and welcome to American Truck Simulator, our weekly chill stream here on DSP Gaming, with a heck of a lot of interaction and fun. This week, we have new DLCs courtesy of Buckwell. We have, I guess, some kind of farm equipment that you can haul for cargo. But also, supposedly, we have Halloween skins. So I think what we should try to do is see, can we actually put a Halloween skin on the truck tonight? Like, to start, can we go to like a shop and do that right away? I think that'd be pretty cool. And then we'll figure out what we want to do for a job. All right. So let's get started. And we have passion fruit, avid alcoholic cider tonight that I'll be starting with. Let's get this sucker open. I think I liked the passion fruit, if I remember correctly. I think this is the one that I liked the flavor of. Okay, it squirted all over my hand, but luckily it didn't go all over my equipment. Grab my hand off on my shorts. I got soaked. Smells good. All right, here we go. Cheers, everyone, to another fun truck sim stream. That's the good one. Passion fruit is definitely the good one. That tastes great. Yummy. Superback, yeah, good to see you here. He says, good to see you doing well. Thank you for that. It's good to see you on the stream tonight. Okay. All right, so what's up, King Michael? Good evening. Good evening, everyone. A lot of people are just joining right now. How are y'all? Good evening, everybody. You're wondering why I'm not wearing a shirt, an overshirt. I had one, but it wasn't fitting anymore, and people were like, why is it so small? And I looked into it, and I found out it's a plant-based fabric that never stops shrinking. So literally, every time I wash this shirt, it's been shrinking in size, and now it doesn't even fit me anymore. I'm like, well, take it off. All right. So first off, where are we? Okay, look. We can look at the paint job right now. We're in the lot. Let's do that. Let's see if we can actually get the Halloween paint job literally right now. We changed the color of the truck to purple last time, but maybe now we can actually get some Halloween spooky configurations. What did I just do? I slept by accident. Oops. We're off to a bad start. I slept by accident, but I guess it's fine because I didn't have a job going or anything, right? All right, so it said the shop was behind me, so all I got to do is turn around here and pass this FedEx truck. Okay, to the right of the lot, so let's go around here. And smash right into the car. Yeah! Beautiful start. Very nice. It's fine because we're going to the shop anyway, so I'll just fix the car if I wreck it. Yeah. Mars. That's a Mars candy truck right there. Damn, I haven't had anything from Mars in a long time, I don't think. I can't even remember the last time I had an M&M, because that's the same company. M&M Mars, right? Yeah, I can't even remember the last time I had M&Ms. Your future stepdad just gifted a sub. Thank you so much, your future stepdad. Get to the shop over here. I'll add that to the leaderboard. So where's the shop? Other side? The left here? Where the hell's the shop? It says it's to my left. Right here. Here it is. Okay. Cool. All right. So we want to definitely, number one, let's just fix what I just messed up. So I can't. They're not even recommending anything. Okay. So how do I get out of that? Here we go. To truck configurator. Thank you, your future stepdad. Let me add that to the total for tonight, so I don't forget. We're now 197. No, 198 of support, right? We are so close to 200 and so close to 2 goals. Let's hit 2 goals tonight. It would be amazing. Okay. Dustin, I am dressing up for Halloween. I do an annual Halloween marathon where all day long on Halloween I stream in a costume, but no, my wife is not going to partake in the festivities. So let's see. Where are the skins? Would it be this? So there's supposed to be Halloween skins added now. Oh, crap, there are. Let's take a look at these. Skull and Bones. Look at this. See which one you guys like. I'll buy one. Skull and Bones. Then we have Urban Torn. It's not really Halloween. All Hallows Eve. Oh, wow. Look at that on the hood. That's cool. Oh, wow. Look at that on the side. That's neat. All kinds of glowing pumpkins and like a spooky house in the background there. That's pretty cool, admittedly. And then we've got Hell Rider. That is like the Grim Reaper on a motorcycle. What does it say? Straight out of hell. It says straight out of hell on the front panel there. Wow. What do you guys think? Jesse, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome to the stream tonight. Is that really it? That's it. So there's only 4. Wow, people paid for that? Well, thank you to Buckwell for sending those. I certainly wouldn't have paid a single dollar for like 3 skins. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that they actually charge for those. But what do you guys think? Should we do Skull and Bones? Should we do All Hallows Eve? Or should we do Hell Rider? What do you guys think? Let's see. The pumpkins, All Hallows. You guys like the one with all the pumpkins? This one. The pumpkins on the side. That is pretty cool. $29,000. That's hilarious. $29,000 for the paint job. It was less than $1 for the skins. Oh, I guess it's not that big of a deal then. All right. All right, you want to do it? Let's do it. Firm order. I just paid $29,000 for that paint job, but we have it. Ray with a $2 super chat asks, what would your career choice be if not gaming? I don't know. Like, the thing is, you can say my career is gaming, but is it really? I feel like it's more content creation streaming because I've delved into other things and they've worked. It's not just always about gaming. So I would say if I weren't an internet content creator, I don't know. Like, previously I thought about doing things like opening a restaurant or another business, like a small business and running it. But, I never really got around to really planning for any of it. So I really don't know. Damn. Cool. Jesse says he's learning a LUA coding language. It's hard, but his braille display, he can read the code correctly. That's neat. That's good to hear. Maybe you could do something with that, right? Cool. All right. Okay, so we're off to a good start. We have a nice Halloween build. This will be cool for 2 more weeks. We'll have this cool Halloween paint job. But now the question is, what do we actually want to do for work, right? So let's take a look at the jobs available. Jobs and freight market. So where are we currently? We are in Idaho. We are in Boise, Idaho. All right, so obviously we got to leave from Idaho. So what jobs do we have available? The furthest job would take us, oh my lord, all the way down to Tucson, Arizona, which is the furthest south on the map. And that would be a monstrous job of home accessories that would pay $47,000. Holy crap. Should we do that? I mean, it's the longest job we've ever done, but we'll make a ton of money, right? That's right, Tucson, Arizona. That's how it's pronounced. Not Tucson, it's Tucson, Arizona. I don't know if you knew that. Do it? All right, let's do it. It's the longest job I've ever done. We'll get to work right away, so hopefully we can finish it tonight. All right, let's go. Let's get on the road. Isn't it Tucson? Is that pronounced Tucson, Arizona, actually? Like the C is silent? I think it's Tucson, Arizona. I could be wrong, but I think that's how it's pronounced. Okay, let's not look. Let's go right to the street without looking. Here we go. Beautiful. Here we are. That's where you live? Low-key, I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about Arizona. I don't know anything about Arizona besides it's hot there, right? I think it's like really hot in the summer, but then you have like cold winters, don't you? I think. Tucson, Arizona. We're on the way. Am I good? Am I centered well here? The camera? Am I, hold on. I think the camera might have to move a slight bit right here. Let's see. Oh yeah, my whole shoulder. And I'm slightly off. Hold on. That should be better. Oh, that's good. That's good, because now the whole wheel is there. Okay, much better, right? Okay, cool. Holy crap, ladies and gentlemen. I have just received an incredibly generous $50 tip. Hold on while I find the animation. Here it is. And the $50 tip is from Troy Smith, who says, "Long live Truck Sim, have a great stream." Thank you, Troy. An insanely generous tip. Let's get that on the leaderboard. That means we skyrocket up to $248 of support. We are a mere 52 bucks away from hitting that second goal. Absolutely amazing. Can we hit that second goal? And get ever closer to DSP Tries It, steak nuggets from Arby's. Said my colon, because that's what's going to be in jeopardy if I eat those. Buckwell is dropping some kicks right now. He dropped 100. He's got another 100. I'll wait for them to finish up because I want to know how many there are total before I add it to the leaderboard. Okay, let's drive. What happened? I can't see. What hell? Oh, shit. What the holy shit? Oh! What happened? Why was my... I have no idea what happened. Ow. Fuck. For some reason, you saw what happened, right? My view was all screwed up. And I couldn't see anything, so I couldn't stop. I didn't even know where I was going. Oh my god. And now someone just rear-ended me. Oh man, that was awful. I don't know what the hell just happened. I have no idea why the view was so off, because normally when I come out of pause, I'm at my normal view. I don't know what caused the view to be so screwed up. Forget it, I need to relax, dude. Oh, exactly, the 30K paint job just got ruined already. A horrible crash. Okay. Sheesh. Rambling Ray says, if digital cents actually were invented and became viable in my lifetime, would I add them to my content? Yes, why not? The only thing is, I don't know how it would work. How would digital cents work? Like, let's say I said, oh, I'm going to spray my cologne that I'm wearing tonight on me, and you guys can smell it, and I spray it. How would you smell it? Like, how the hell would that work? Synthetic scents that would be manufactured and sprayed into your room as you're watching? How would that... I don't know. That'd be interesting. No, I've never been to an Aldi's. I know that Aldi exists. My wife knows about it. Because, you know, she used to live, in the Midwest, ish. And Aldi was out there. So she knows about it, but I've never seen an Aldi. There's never been, not in Connecticut and not in Washington. I've never seen one. Dustin says, I'm the king of variety and diversity. Well, there you go. Thanks. Buckwell, okay, so Buckwell did it was 200 kicks. Okay. So now, with the 200 kicks from Buckwell, we're at 250. So we are 50 bucks away from hitting a second goal tonight. Let's go. Let's hit that second goal right now. Let's do it. Let's crush it and hit it right now. That'd be amazing. Jade says he would like to go to Oregon eventually again. All right, we could do that eventually. Let's do this insane job to Arizona tonight. Maybe next week we go from Arizona to Oregon. Very nice. Ministry of Support says, I plan to cryo-freeze my body before I die, and in a few hundred years I'll spread the word of your content to the masses. Or you could end up being a very delicious human meat popsicle to the aliens that are going to invade and find your cryo chamber and eat you as a snack. So there you go. They'll be like, oh, look, TV dinner. They scarf you right down. Might want to think about that before you go into the cryo chamber. Just saying, it could happen. Okay, we're almost getting the job here. Aldi is German, is that true? I wouldn't know. Again, I've never seen one. I'm just readjusting my pedals to make it a little more comfortable. Shit, no, I think I put them too far out. Son of a bitch, I'm going to have to move them again. They were too close, now I moved them, now they're too far out. Okay. Would I ever play the European Truck Sim? Again, I've talked about this. I'm not against it, but it's going to be the same as this. It's just going to be driving through Europe and driving on the left-hand side of the road. I don't really see the appeal. Besides, maybe many of you out there who are my viewers are Europeans, which I know many of you are, actually. So, I mean, if ever you saw value in that, maybe I would do it. But for now, I think this truck sim's been doing fine. I don't see the whole reason to swap over to Europe. Bookwell says the founder of Aldi's was kidnapped in 1971 and held for ransom for $2 million. Upon release, the founder unsuccessfully tried to claim the ransom payment as a tax-deductible business expense. Darn. Like, you know, I got kidnapped and almost murdered, but man, at least I could get that tax deduction. Shit. They screwed me. Oh, really? Vietnamese comrade says actually most of Europe still drives on the right-hand side of the road. Okay, I didn't know that. Here we go. Let's get the job. The longest job we've ever done. Okay. Go. Freight market. Here it is. Let's accept it. It's going to be a crazy long job, man. It's going to take forever. Okay, your trailer is ready. Go get it. Right there. Just a normal trailer, too. It's just a really, really long job, so that's why it's paying so much. $47,000. Oh, crap. Almost at the fence. All right. Here we go. Let's get some... What did it say it was we were doing? We were moving? I don't remember what this is. Forgot what they said it is that we're hauling. Oh, well, it's just a normal trailer. It ain't a big deal, I guess. Okay. Was I offered to be admitted into prestigious universities when I graduated from high school? When I graduated from high school, all right, I applied to several different universities. I applied to 3 tiers. Ivy League, kind of mid-tier league stuff, and state college. So, because I was the valedictorian, it was kind of a no-brainer. Of course, I was going to get into the state college, right? So, I'm like, UConn, easily, no problem there. That's University of Connecticut, because that's where I grew up. Mid-tier, I applied to 2 mid-tier universities. I applied to Fairfield University and Boston College. And both of them offered me a partial scholarship. I can't stop. Damn, this truck's going to be hard to stop, I think. We'll have to see how this works. This might be a big haul. My brakes might be weak. So they offered me partial scholarships, meaning they would pay for part of the ride, but not all of the ride. I want to say it was around maybe between half and 2/3, but still, even back then, college tuition was very expensive. So I still had tons of student loans and things I had to take out in order to go, even if I accepted their scholarships. Then there were the Ivy League schools. And I'm going to be honest, I don't know if the Ivy League schools would have actually admitted me or not, because I applied and immediately said that I needed the tuition assistance. And I hate to say it, but you may not know this, but in the United States, these Ivy League schools, if you need tuition assistance, unless you are checking one of their boxes, meaning, oh, we're looking for this particular person to fill this quota of people that we're looking to come to our college, notably athletes, minorities, etc. If you don't check one of those boxes, you basically can't get financial aid. If you apply, they're going to deny you. Okay? Now, I didn't know that. Here I am thinking, oh, the system is that if I need financial aid to go to Ivy League school, I should apply for it, right? Actually, what I should have done was applied without financial aid, see if they accepted me. And then if they accepted me, then found another means to actually go. meaning take out loans or whatever for myself or my parents or whatever, right? But I foolishly applied for the financial aid, and they completely, everyone, I applied to 2 different Ivy League schools. One was Yale. Was it Harvard? No. Yale? I know I applied to Yale. Maybe I just applied to Yale. I can't even remember now. But they just outright denied me flat. And it doesn't make sense. I'm the valedictorian. I have a ton of extracurriculars. I have all this shit under my belt. Why would they deny me flat? And I went to my counselor in high school, and I talked to them about it, and they outright told me, here's why. They said, "You're going to be honest with you, Phil. You're white. You're not rich. You applied for financial aid. That's why you didn't get accepted. It's that simple. It's not that you're dumb. You're the valedictorian of our high school, a private parochial or a Catholic high school that's, known for smart people coming out of here. In fact, people from my high school did get accepted into Ivy League colleges. You want to know who did? Athletes. Only athletes. That was it. So because I'm white and I needed financial aid, I wasn't filthy rich so I could pay my whole way there. Outright, I'll just eliminate it. Not even consider. Okay? Pretty fucked up, but that's actually how it works with these schools. Okay? So I ended up going to a mid-tier university. Actually, it was a choice between Boston College and Fairfield University. Boston College being in Boston, Massachusetts, which would have meant that I would have had to move out of Connecticut, live in Massachusetts, pay for the move, pay for the room and board. It would have been a really, really expensive endeavor. Going to Fairfield University in Connecticut, even if I lived there, I was living very close to my parents. I would still be there available easily to see my family, to see my friends, to do all of that, and it would be way less expensive because it's a minimal move. It's just moving from Bridgeport, Connecticut to Fairfield, which is like 3 towns over. I don't have a lot of shit to move. It's, dorm room. So ultimately the choice was made that I would just go to Fairfield University because it would be less expensive. Not because I wanted to go there, to be honest with you. I wanted to go to BC. I wanted to go to Boston College. I thought that would have been better in my interests, and I would have been able to start my new life there. But it was too expensive. Number one, I already had to take out student loans in order to pay for the rest of the tuition, okay, that I was going to pay back myself, plus now the cost of moving everything. How much was I going to put myself in the hole, right? So it was just a financial decision, and who knows what would have happened if I went to Boston College rather than Fairfield U. My whole life could have been different. I might have found different people, networked differently, got a different job, who knows? I probably wouldn't have been a live streamer, I'll tell you that. I probably would have been doing something that would have been my major, whether it would have been computer programming or it would have been something else. My life probably would have been completely different than it is now. And it was the same, when I graduated from college, okay? I applied to a bunch of jobs. Now, I was a finance major. And here I am with a bachelor's degree in finance, and I'm applying all around, and I'm getting denied. So I went to my counselor in college, and I said, I don't get it. I have a bachelor's degree. My grade point average wasn't the best in college, I'll be honest with all of you. I didn't really care as much after I was so disheartened about what happened in high school that I was, basically outright denied going to Ivy League University despite being the valedictorian, again, having all these extracurriculars and everything on my resume. They didn't care. So basically, I did slack off a bit in college, I'm not going to lie. But my grade point average was all right. It was kind of average. And so I started applying to jobs in the finance sector because my degree was in finance, okay? And basically, I'm getting denied. What's going on? So what they started saying to me was, you're denied because you don't have any experience. But I'm a college graduate. I'm a university graduate. Shouldn't I be getting the experience now? I had to graduate first with the degree to qualify for the job. How could I have gotten experience? So I actually went to my counselor in college and said, what happened? And they said, well, it's 2 things, 2 factors. Number one, who do you know? I don't know anyone. I don't know anyone in the financial industry. Oh, well, that's a big thing against you. And, when it comes to business in the United States, you usually can get a job if you know someone. Well, no shit, but couldn't I have gotten a job if I knew someone without university training too? Well, maybe not. You kind of need to have a degree, but you need to know someone. So you went this whole way through 4 years of university, you got your degree in finance, but you don't know anyone in the financial, business? No. Oh, well, that's bad. Oh, okay. So what's the other thing that I did wrong? I said, well, did you take any internships while you were here at college? And I'm like, no, because I was going to school full time. I was taking a full course load every year, and I had a full-time job. I was working the entire time through college to pay for the student loans to go to college. And they said, so wait, you never went and applied and did an unpaid internship somewhere at like a investment firm, at a bank? No, I couldn't. How would I have done that? I was working. I had to pay for college. Oh, that's horrible against you. So what are you talking about? So what was I supposed to do? So basically, to get a job, a good job out of college in a finance, job, what I needed to do was already know people in the finance industry who were going to give me the job anyway. And also, I needed to do an unpaid internship for all of college, meaning I never would have been able to work a real job. And therefore, I needed to be rich. Because how am I paying to go to college if I don't have to work to pay my student loans? I had to be rich to pay it outright. So that's how the system works in the United States. I'm serious. It's all about who you know. It's all about legacy. It's all about this class that kind of stays at the top. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't matter how hard you work. It's about how much money you have and who you know. That's how business works in the United States. I don't know about other countries. That's my personal experience growing up. And that's why I'll be honest with all of you. I worked my ass off through elementary school and high school so I could be valedictorian. And then when I got to university, after that whole first year, 2 years, and I realized this isn't really going anywhere, I kind of slacked off a bit on purpose. And after going through university, that piece of paper that I have in my closet right now that says bachelor's in finance, it might have well has been a piece of toilet paper. Complete waste of 4 years of my life, complete waste of insane amounts of money, all those years I worked to pay off those student loans. Complete waste of my time. That's how it is in the United States. It's completely fucked. Now, I'm sure today it's even worse. I hear today people get bachelor's, people get master's degrees, and they still can't get a job. So I don't know. I don't know how this system is set up. I don't know how people have this weird notion that, like, in the United States, it's the American dream and it's how hard you work is how you get rewarded. That's never, ever been my experience. In my experience, here's how it's been. The harder you work, the more people use you. Because if you're a hard worker, they say, oh, that's the person that's going to work harder for me, so give them more work. Meanwhile, all the other people that are slacking off, give them less work because we can't trust them. Give the person who's the hard worker more work, but pay them the same as everybody else. That's been my experience anyway. So I don't know what to say outside of that. Again, that's only what I can say from my personal, perspective. Maybe other people have had completely opposite. Maybe they worked their ass off out of high school, they applied, they got right to a great college, they got a great job. Good for you. And I am happy for you. I really am. Like, I am sad that I was told one thing my whole life. I believed it. I did everything right according to it. And basically, I got nothing for it. It does upset me. I'm not going to lie. But outside of that, that's all I can say. Maybe other people have faith in the system. Good for you. I certainly don't want anyone out there to be like, oh, I just listened to Phil's story and now I don't ever want to go to university or, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that's my experience. If you know people in the field, if you already have money and you can pay outright, like, again, I really feel that if I had applied to, say, Yale University, and I never said I needed financial aid, if I said I could just pay outright out of pocket, they probably would have accepted me. But it's not what I did, and I guess I screwed myself, And same thing with college. If I had paid outright the tuition so I didn't have to work in college and I had an unpaid internship, maybe I would have got a good job out of college. But I don't know what else to say, okay? All right. Well, I'm swerving all over the place. Let's see here. How we doing? Oh, let's see here. Someone tipped $1.11 and said something disgusting, so I'm just not going to read it, and I'm going to say thanks for $1.11. Okay. we go. When will I play Slay the Spire? I do not know if I ever will. How did I fit Street Fighter competitively in with all of that? So basically, outside of full-time school and a full-time job, Friday and Saturday nights we're playing Street Fighter. And that was my one escape from all of that grind. Like literally I was stressed the fuck out for like 4 years of my life in my early 20s. So all I did to escape was every Friday, Saturday night, go to the arcade, play with people, you know, go over people's homes at night. We played console games and stuff. And rarely, maybe once or twice a year, early in those years, I was able to afford to go to a tournament. Like I would go to East Coast Championships or something like that. Maybe every once in a while I would go to Chinatown Fair to be a tournament in New York City. I would go to stuff like that. It wasn't until after my college years that I was finally able to start going to other tournaments and traveling. I really didn't travel for anything outside of like that northeastern region of the United States until I got out of college. I couldn't do it. Juggling college and a full-time job, I didn't have the time, nor the means, either the money, you know. Once basically college was over, a lot changed for me. I would argue a little bit for the better, and I was able to start doing things for myself. I was able to go move out of my parents' house and get, you know, my first apartment that I shared with other people and do some stuff for myself, so. And that's when I started traveling and playing Street Fighter and stuff. Bypass? Nope, I gotta go to the way station. That sucks. Way station time. Get this out of the way. Trucks. Fuck. Almost took the wrong way. I don't even know. You guys talk about STEM? I never even heard of the term STEM until recently. That was never discussed at my high school. That was never discussed with my counselors, my parents. Never heard of it. It was either you got to go to college and you got to get a major in something that's hiring, or you need to go to the military. I'm serious. Or you go to a technical school, which is completely different. But no one wanted me to go to technical school. Everyone wanted me to go to like a 4-year university. Okay. Science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Well, again, if I didn't know anyone in those industries to guide me along the way, right? If I didn't even know, like I know what you're saying. Like, why didn't I study to be a scientist or a doctor? Didn't have the money. I don't have money to go to doctor school, you know, medical school. I didn't have money to be a lawyer. I had to go to basically a normal 4-year university. You know, and again, I didn't know anyone. I don't know. There's no family members who I have are doctors, lawyers, nothing like that. Again, it really feels to me like it really is in life who you know. It's very hard to make it for yourself. I massively respect anyone out there who went out on their own, busted their ass, and made something of themselves without having, you know, the parents help them and guide them, without having some crazy angel investor throw them an insane amount of money. You know, someone who's, I'm just gonna work hard and I'm gonna bust my ass and succeed, maybe start my own business or whatever it may be. That's to be applauded because, man, it can't be fucking easy. It can't be. You know? To be honest with me, when I started as a streamer / content creator, because I wasn't a streamer until 2013, but I was a creator since 2008. The truth is, the only reason I feel that I had success is because it was early on and I busted my fucking ass. When everyone else out there was putting out 1 video, 2 videos a day, I was putting out 8 hours of footage a day. I was flooding the market with gameplay so people would know who the fuck Darksidesville was. I busted my ass in those early days of formative Let's Play content creation, and I made a living doing it because people saw, man, DSP, he's the guy who plays every game. He's not great at them, but man, he's funny to watch. We can get his opinion on games. He's funny playing Street Fighter. You know, that's the guy. You can depend on him to always have new content every freaking day. And that's why I am where I am today, because I busted my ass early on. if I didn't put in that level of dedication and hard work, I would never have been successful. I'm telling you. Because I wasn't one of these gurus. I wasn't one, oh, I'm a master of this. My forte is this particular game. My niche is this. Never. Instead, it was kind of doing everything and just kind of being entertaining while doing it. I think that's why I was able to succeed while a lot of people kind of struggle, you know? And that's why I'm still here today as well. If I didn't have that body of work and that legacy and the people who come by to say, I know who DSP is, let's check him out, I don't think anyone would give a shit about me today, quite frankly. Okay, so we got some stuff to shout out. We've got Dan Zach with a $5 super chat. Did you teach yourself OBS when you first started using it? How was that experience? I actually started with, what was the other one? The one you pay for? Whatever that software is that you paid for, people had mentioned it the other day. I forgot the name of it. That's the one I started with. And I researched it all on the internet and tried to figure it out for myself. I had a few people help me. I'm not going to lie. A few people did help me through it. But for the most part, it was working with it until I figured out how to do it. But then I changed to OBS when stuff that I wanted to use stopped working with that. And yeah, for the most part, some people helped me. They guided me through some basics, but yeah, it's like trial and error, messing around, online tutorials and shit, you know? But I'll be honest, today, I do have some people who help me with everything. Like, most of the stuff that's set up in OBS today is the result of other people knowing what my setup was and being able to tweak it and help me with it. Because I just don't have endless hours to sit here and mess with this setup. You know, when I upgraded my stuff back in December, January, that was a lot of help from a few different people who were very nice and said, no, we want you to upgrade. It's been so long. You need to get to modern tech. And they helped me out with that, and I appreciate that. So thank you, Dan Zach. XSplit, that's what the old program was called. You're right. It was called XSplit. That's absolutely free. Let's see here. Oh, let's see. Someone's name is RIP Animator and says, are you going to resurrect the billboards next week? I have no idea what that means, but thanks for $1. I don't know what that means. We're at 257, folks. Can we get this 300 and hit our second goal for the night? Let's do it. Let's hit our second goal of the night right now. No Ministry of Support. I never used Fraps, Bandicam, or anything like that. I didn't. I was the guy pointing a camera at his television, a digital camera, recording in the most bootleg, guerrilla, crappy, low quality style in order to pump out the amount of videos that I did each day. It wasn't until 2013 that I started doing direct capture stuff, and I literally just went to Best Buy, grabbed the capture device they had. I think it was like was it AverMedia? No. It was something else. It was this big ass box, like this big, and it was green lights around the edge. I don't remember what it was called. And I tried using the proprietary software. It wasn't great, so then I just went right to XSplit and started using that. And yeah. That was it, HD PVR. That's exactly what it was. It was HD PVR 2. That's what the device was. Yep, I remember. They had it at Best Buy for like $300, $200, $300. I just grabbed it, plugged it in, started doing it, and I, tweaked it over time. And then I said their software wasn't great, so I ended up using XSplit for a long time. Too, it was like 3-4 years, and then XSplit it stopped working with half the shit I wanted to use, so I just started using OBS. Yeah, Hopog is the name of the company. The villain says, it's crazy you weren't in a relationship around that stressful time. What time? My college years? I mean, during my college years, there was, let me put it this way. I was so busy with school, work, and then every once in a while trying to play Street Fighter. If I could squeeze in some fun here and there, I would, but it wasn't anything on the regular, like, you know what I'm saying? There's just not time. There was no time. I was fucking insanely busy. I couldn't have a real relationship or anything then. There's nothing I could do about that, that you really want to kill yourself. I mean, yeah, good luck. If I had an actual, like, serious relationship at that point in my life, too, I would have killed myself. I was already run ragged. Like, no exaggeration, there were days I was so tired from overworking myself, I would go to school and I would be in the car ready to go to class, and I'd look in the fucking rear view mirror, or the mirror, you know, what do you call it, the visor mirror of the car, and my eyes would be like fucking bloodshot. Not because I was high or hungover, just because I was so fucking tired. And I was like, dude, fuck this. And I would literally say, fuck it, I'm not going to class. And I would just put my seat back and just sleep for like 3 hours when I was supposed to be in class. I would sleep in the car instead. Fuck this. I was like fucking crazy. I was, you know, really overstressed at that point in my life. What do you mean drive like a maniac? I would like to deliver the payload and make some money tonight. I don't want to wreck. Did I ever get in trouble for skipping classes? Well, I always made sure that I didn't skip too much, that I would be able to pass, you know, pass the course or whatever. There was one teacher, I've told this story before. So the college that I went to, of course, you had to do a certain requirement of a variety of courses. And so they wanted you to take a couple diversity courses, right? So I took Native American Studies. All right, might be interesting. I don't really know much about Native Americans. I think it might be something interesting to learn about the Native people that used to live in this country, right? I go to the class. The teacher claims he's part Native American, but he looks nothing like he's Native American at all. Like, what is it? Like, is he like 0.0001% Native American or something? Literally, he wouldn't teach anything. He would come in and he would just talk about bullshit for like 2 hours. And every once in a while, he would tell a story about something that was Native American related. But for the most part, we didn't ever do anything in class. And then sometimes he would play like a movie. And that was it. That was the whole class. Like, that was it. He didn't teach anything. He never taught a thing in class. I was like, why am I even going to class? So that class, no lie, I think I skipped the absolute maximum amount of classes that I could. And then in the final grade that I got, he gave me like a C or C minus. And because the thing was, I aced every test. Like, every test I would study the book that he gave us, and I would ace every test, but I would never go to class. So he actually wrote like a comment on the final grade. He was like, you really know how to push the limits of you know, like being a freshman or something. I can't remember what he said, but basically it was like a stab, like an insult. He totally was. He was like totally insulting me. In it, like saying that, you know, you're a slacker or something like that. And I basically said, I actually responded, because there was the way you could respond online. And I responded to him and I said, well, listen, first of all, I want you to understand, unlike probably most of your students, I actually have to work full time to afford to come here. So I'm already overworked as it is. And to be honest, you don't teach anything. So it's funny that I got an A on every test when I never was in class, isn't it? And then he never responded. Why would he? I got A's on every test, but I never went to class. So he gave me like a C minus. Yes, I went to a private university. Fairfield U was a private university. Oh, I'm an unlikable weirdo because I went to private school? Why? Because I went to a private school and paid for it? I'm an unlikable weirdo, huh? Okay. Whatever you say. So why are you on my stream then? Wait a minute. So you go to streams of unlikable weirdos and just watch them all night and play truck sim? That's kind of weird. Maybe you're the unlikable weirdo too. Like, well, why exactly would you be on the stream? Don't you have a life? Don't you have something else to be doing? We another? Oh, we did. Hold on. Another contribution came in. Let me take a look. Oh. Hold on. I'm glad I checked. Meconium did a $10 tip. First, Meconium, thank you for the tip. he says, my girlfriend has a big rig fetish and gets turned on when you play Truck Sim. So shouldn't you be keeping her away from watching then? Seriously. Why are you allowing her to watch my stream? You should be like, no. It's bizarre behavior. Anyway, let's continue. What time is it? All right, about another 5 to 10 minutes before we split apart. How are we doing on the job? We're almost to the halfway point. We're getting to the point where very soon I'm going to have to take a rest stop to sleep. Gas, I'm good, but sleep is going to be the problem. If we can find the dual use of gas and sleep, it'll probably work. What jobs did I have during college? Let's see. I started off at Circuit City, which was an electronics store similar to Best Buy. If you know what Best Buy is, they were their competitor. I worked there for like 2.5 to 3 years. At one point, I actually went back to my old fast food job for like a year because that was just the easy job to slide into at the time to get a quick buck. So I worked like the stupid health food store for like a year during there too. And then after I graduated from college, the first job I got was Wells Fargo Financial, which I thought, oh, well, it says financial in the name. Wells Fargo is a bank. This must be a great place. Nope, they were a predatory lender. They actually honed in on people who had horrible credit scores and previously had really bad problems with their credit. And they would attempt to get them very high interest rate credit cards, very high interest rate personal loans, and insanely high loan to value mortgages in an attempt to basically screw them over. I didn't know that when I started working there. I learned that over the year that I worked there. Okay. Of course I'm swerving. I'm trying to read stream chat, and I'm drinking while I'm trying to drive. Of course I'm swerving all over the place. That's right, I am the epitome of the distracted driver. But at least I'm entertaining when I do it. And I'm only doing it in a virtual setting. I don't do this in real life. Am I rooting for the Mariners in the playoffs? No, I don't give a shit. I don't care about sports. I know that we have tons of local sports teams, including the Seattle Mariners, the Seattle Kraken, which is our hockey team. We've also got, of course, the Seahawks, our American football team. I don't follow any of it. Are they doing good? I literally have no clue. Are the Mariners doing good? Why did I get fired from Wells Fargo? I didn't get fired from Wells Fargo. I left myself after a year because I couldn't take it anymore. I've told this story again. You guys are just having me tell like every old story tonight. I left. It was a combination of knowing that they were a predatory lender, and I actually did this really bad mortgage for this family, and I felt really, really bad after doing it. And it kind of ate away at me. And then there was also this whole problem with my branch manager who was giving good leads to people he liked and giving horrible leads to people he didn't like. And then I reported him because I had evidence that he was doing this. So I reported him to the district manager, only to find out that the district manager was the person who had hand-trained him, and he was like her lackey. So basically it got me in that water with her, and I was like, well, I guess I'm never going to do well at this company. I got to get the fuck out of here. Did I prefer Boston or New York City when I lived in Connecticut? So I've been to New York City quite a few times. When I was a kid, I used to go there with my parents, and we would go to like see some Broadway shows. We go around Christmas and go to Radio City Music Hall, see the Christmas tree, and do some food and stuff there. Then I got older, and I started going to Chinatown Fair, which was a arcade in Chinatown in New York City that had all the Street Fighter games. It was all the prominent Street Fighter players from like the Northeast would go there to practice and play. So I had a lot of experience in New York City. Boston, I've only been to once ever. Like literally once ever have I ever been there, and it was because I was visiting BC to see if I wanted to go there. And I'll be honest with you, Boston is more my vibe. Like it's more, even though there's a lot of people there, it's more small towny. You could get around on like the, they have that like that trolley thing that goes in the middle of the streets rather than having to take like a subway or drive. It just seemed way more small town, and it seemed a lot more like safe and homey to me. While New York City is like insane hustle, bustle, zillion people, crime and everything. I mean, I get it. People who want to live there, you want to be like into action all the time. But for me, I preferred a place like Boston. It just seemed like it was more my speed. Coincidentally, I ended up never living in either of them. Hold on. Oh, come on. Another dollar tip. A dollar tip from a disgusting freak. All right, I'm just not going to read them anymore. Seriously, if I see a dollar tip, I'm going to delete it at this point. This guy is saying disgusting stuff over and over tonight. It's really just, it's turning my stomach, so I'm going to ignore them. How much time? Or like 5 more minutes, and then we'll split the part. And honestly, we probably have to stop to rest soon. As you can see, we're almost maximized on the sleep meter. Nithris over on Kick says, if I wanted to join the military, what would I pick? Like, what division? Oh, I have no idea. I never really researched it or anything like that. I don't know enough about it, so I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know. And I wouldn't join now anyway. I'm too old. 43 years old. I can't join the military now. It would never take me. I got vision problems, like double vision problems, actually. And I used to have a back injury. They would never accept me into the military. I have no idea what a George Droid meme is. No, never heard of it. Do I remember $1 pizza in New York? No. I do not remember $1 pizza in New York. I have had New York pizza, which is amazing. I've had it a few times. Not often. Maybe 2-3 times in my life I had it. The thing is, I grew up in Connecticut, and in Connecticut, the pizza was so effing good that I never felt like I had to go to New York to get pizza. But the pizza in New York was like bigger slices of what we would get in Connecticut, and it would be pretty good. Will I watch the Ed Gein Netflix series? I don't know. I started watching some horror stuff. I actually watched a suspense/horror movie on Netflix the other day. It just came out. It was starring Keira Knightley. Remember her? And it's a movie about a journalist who's invited to like a yacht because there's this eccentric rich couple and one of them has cancer, and I guess they're going to give all their money away, and she's being sent there to cover it. And then there's a murder mystery that takes place. It was actually a pretty good movie. I forget what it was called, like Cabin 10 or something like that. It was decent, a decent movie. But I'm gonna start watching. Some horror stuff. Any recommendations this year of horror stuff I should watch? I already told you I saw that movie Warriors. No, Weapons. I saw that movie Weapons. And that was a really good movie. If you haven't seen Weapons, I don't want to talk about it, but I'll just say this. First time ever that I've seen the original meaning behind a horror movie term actually used in a movie ever in the modern era. That's all I'm going to say. And that way I won't spoil it, but actually it blew me away. I really liked that movie. It was like riveting, like the way the cinematography was done well, the acting was done well. It kept you guessing for a lot of the movie of what was going to happen. I really liked it. But it's pretty gory. Just to warn you, weapons, pretty gory. You gotta go in there with a strong stomach. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh shit. Okay. Am I gonna see the new Conjuring movie in theaters? No. Will I see it eventually? Probably. I think I've seen them all at this point. I'm pretty sure the first one I saw in theaters. The second and third one I'm pretty sure I saw on demand. So I'll probably end up seeing it. I was hoping that I was gonna do the rest stop thing before we went on break, quickly for me to get another drink here, but I'm not tired yet, which is weird. I thought by now I'd be tired, and I'm not. Maybe I should just rest up anyway. Hold on. Let's see if there's a rest stop nearby. Maybe we'll just stop. There is a rest stop coming up. Yes. Okay, let's do this. Let's hit up this rest stop. And we will sleep, get gas, split the part, grab a new drink. We'll do everything at once. That's perfect. Cool. What's my favorite Scream movie? The first one. That guy just drove right into me. Like, literally, he drove into me. What an idiot. That's not how it works. You're not supposed to drive into someone entering the highway, you idiot. The first one, the first Scream movie, of course, is the best. Because that was the first time that you had a horror movie that kind of broke the fourth wall and knew it was a horror movie. It was done really well. It sucks because I'm flooring it, and I lost all my speed because that asshole hit me. I'm literally flooring it right now. I lost all my speed when that guy clobbered me. I saw Barbarian. That was a really weird one, but I found it entertaining because it was unique, but it was very gory, right? Like really disgusting movie. But it was different. I like movies that are different and try to do things different. They're not cliche. Okay, rest stop's coming up here. Oh shit. Got distracted. Okay, so we're getting off here, yes. Nice and cool in the office tonight. Mid-70s. Very nice. This is the kind of weather I like for streaming, man. Nice chill weather, nice breeze coming in my window. Alright. See, Terrifier I don't really want to see because I think it's too gory. I've heard way too many things about really disgusting scenes in it, and I'm like... There's a difference between scary gory and, like, gore for the sake of being over-the-top, ridiculous gore, and I'm not into that anymore. Maybe when I was younger I was, but not anymore. Right on red. All right, let's rest up. Let's fuel up. There we go. Yeah? John says, I saw all 3 Terrifier movies. They're disgusting as fuck. Ugh. I'm not into that anymore. When I was younger, I was into extreme gore stuff, but not really anymore. I kind of grew out of it. Where can I sleep? Right here? Yes. Okay. Sleep. All right, and we're gonna take a quick break. Do I have any left? No, I finished my drink. That's good. And a dollar tip of someone asking if I ever smoked weed. Yes, I have. I've told the story many times that I smoked weed several times when I was younger, but I don't really want to retell the entire story again tonight for the millionth time. Clout Siffler, I believe, just became a member. So thank you to Clout Siffler for that. And with that dollar tip, we're now up to 271. All right, I'll be back with a fresh drink in the second half of our job for tonight here on Truck Sim. See you then.